has invited the Nelson Mandela Foundation to discuss any issues it may have with the ruling party.
This comes after the foundation issued a statement calling on South Africans to take action in expressing their dissatisfaction over the state of democracy in the country and the looting of resources. ANC Secretary General Gwede Mantashe says the foundation is invited to meet with them next week.
Mantashe highlighted this and other issues during a conversation with the media at Luthuli House.
The first one is the dropping of the charges against Pravin Gordhan, and welcome that. Further is the further dropping of charges against McBride and two of his colleagues. Welcome that. But we're making a point that we don't want to be critical of the NPA because it has a right to reconsider its decision to prosecute. But we're also highlighting the fact that intersection of state institutions and political actors always create impression of political conspiracy. That interaction is always unhealthy. Because we're a governing party, we get caught in that intersection. It creates a lot of tension of for and against this decision or the other. What we're saying is that state institutions should stay clear of political space, because political space is very muddy and slippery. The state institution must conduct themselves in a way that is above reproach. That is the first point we're raising. You can ask questions because beyond that. The second one is the state capture report. Our view is that we regard the allegation of state capture very seriously. I know that now it is everybody's narrative. We raised this issue ourselves in the first place, of the question of of corporate capture growing into state capture, risking of drifting into a mafia state. It is us who raised that issue. The unfortunate part of it is that it is now used as a narrative of instead of having people who actually theorize it in detail for society to learn from it. We respect the individuals who are implicated to follow any processes to try to be exonerated. But the issue of using courts to actually either delay or frustrate some of these processes create a bit of a catch-22 for all of us, because you delay a report, it will ultimately come. What is the process? What is the problem if it comes now and it comes next week? But if there is unfairness that people who are involved see, they must be given the right and space to raise their concerns on the matters. But try to minimize the use of courts by political leadership who will actually use courts to run away from what they have taken as political decisions. So our view is that that debate must be opened. We should not run away from it. It's not an issue that the ANC should be running away from. The third one is the criticism of ANC by stalwarts and many other voices in society. We respect the right of anyone in society to raise any issue where they feel aggrieved. But the reality of the matter is that in this office we've been listening to everybody. Everybody. Actually, I was going through the list of the Movement 101. I'm giving that to give it a distinct identity. Movement 101. And I looked into the list of Save South Africa group. And I looked into other groups. And when I looked through them, I know that many of the people who are appearing in all those groups have been here talking to us on the issues. Now, the question of accusing us of refusing to listen is actually unjustified. I can tell you that many of those comrades have been in this boardroom talking to us. But where it is described as suppression is when, for example, we have different views on particular matters, which is the right we're having, because one of the issues that must always be appreciated is the fact that the ANC is an organization. It has a legitimately elected leadership called the National Executive Committee, which has a responsibility of running the affairs of the ANC. Everybody wants to help the ANC come out of the difficult period it is in. Many of them called the August 3rd losing local government elections, which is very different from not performing well. Performing badly, the decline, we accept that. But when you describe it as a loss, we know that there's an element of exaggeration, because that loss is sometimes described as the winning of the DA. And at the time, very few media houses describe the running of the 3 metros taken from the ANC as being run with coalitions. Nobody says that. They normally say we lost Joburg today, we lost Nelson Mandela today, Tshwane today. Instead of saying these 3 metros are actually ran by coalitions, which is not good for the ANC. That we are accepting. We must also accept that Egoruleni, though led by the ANC, is run by a coalition. Now, that description is more important to us than loss and win. Because in a coalition, you appoint a mayor from party X. And we're losing that description in all what we're saying. We have met the SABC more than once. We've met members of the Integrity Commission a number of times. The last one was 2 weeks ago. That's why in his interview, that Umlangeni does concede that no, as the Integrity Commission, we met the officials of the ANC. They told us whatever they wanted to tell, we listened. We never threw them out of the meeting. And we'll continue listening to all of them. But the responsibility of leading the ANC lies with the control structures of the ANC. And that must never be watered down.
ANC Secretary General Gwede